is returning to private work in America following 39 years of service as her country's envoy in a number of countries including Cameroon, South Africa, Senegal, Liberia, Ethiopia and Uganda. She will return to Africa focusing on issues of investment for development, particularly in Uganda, because of the country's conducive climate, plenty of sunshine and the good political environment. President Museveni wished Ambassador Malak good luck in her retirement.
It's gone by very quickly.
Ministry of Education and Sports has declared the funding gap to a tune of 1.686 trillion shillings to address the challenges affecting this sector. The ministry's national budget framework paper for the financial year 2020-21 reveals continued understaffing in public learning institutions to face the increasing enrollments of learners at all levels of the education system. First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports Janet Museveni says that an increase in the budget allocation to the sector would help in carrying out critical and strategic activities needed to transform the sector. We have a detailed report here with Remigius Mbonye from Parliament.
The Ministry of Education and Sports has so far spent 918 billion shillings of the approved budget released by the Ministry of Finance during the first half of the financial year 2019-2020. The sector's current budget stands at 3.398 trillion shillings, 1.811 trillion caters for wages, 0.963 trillion covers non-wage recurrent costs, 0.30 trillion shillings for domestic development, whereas 0.31 trillion is donor funding. While presenting the sector's performance during the first half of the financial year 2019-2020 to the Parliamentary Committee on Education and Sports, Janet Museveni said that the sector has progressed in critical areas.
We have a project that was funded by Global Partnership for Education, and they have given us condition that unless we increase our education budget, they will not give us a second round of grant, which we could get, which we are supposed to get. But if we don't get increased budget, national budget for education, we will not get that grant, which was a reasonable amount of money that would help us really to finish all the primary schools that we need in the country.
She revealed that the sector has developed an analysis report for the ministry's 5-year strategic plan for the financial year 2020 to 2025. Mrs. Museveni said the ministry also plans to implement the National Teachers Policy, Technical Vocational Education Training Policy, and the white paper for the Rendere Visitation Committee report for Makerere University, which will help in reviewing the University and Other Tertiary Institutions Act. The sector also registered a total of 49 medals across various sports disciplines, of which 14 were gold, 15 silver, and 18 bronze. The Parliamentary Committee on Education and Sports, chaired by Jacob Okrut, received responses from the ministry's officials in regards to allocation of resources to the different sectors. The State Minister for Sports, Dennis Obua Hamson, also made his maiden statement to the committee.
I want to promise you that with the guidance of the Senior Minister, which she has already done, the future, in my opinion, I serve the God of breakthrough and the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. the future is bright.
As he takes on his new role, the sports sector is looking forward to participate in the national sports and athletics teams events such as AFCON, Olympic Games,
when you look at the
CHAN,
quality that
to mention but a few of 11 sporting events. The ministry's budgetary allocation for the financial year 2020 to 2021 is projected to be at 3.28 trillion shillings, a reduction by 111.17 billion shillings from 3.397 trillion shillings in the financial year 2019 to 2020 due to completion of donor-funded projects. Remedios Simbonye, UBC News.
Prime Minister Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda has commended the Anglican Church for its efforts towards Marito sermons. He was addressing believers at Namirembe Cathedral in Kampala as he joined others to celebrate the golden jubilee of marriage of his former lecturer, Professor Sewufu Peter.
The Prime Minister, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, has graced the 50th golden wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Sewufu at Namirembe Cathedral. The two, Peter and Rose, renewed their vows before Reverend Dr. George Sinabulia, who in his sermon emphasized the marriage to seek God's guidance.
Mubisigale mu Yesu. Tambula ng'oli mu Yesu. Tembeya naye sabalabirize yagenda Mukama muwe ekyumula. Ntembeya nani? No Yesu. Tembeya na Yesu. Era ffe tutembeya na Yesu n'omuwala oyo. Tutembeya naye up to now yatembeya bwe tubeera mmotoka tutembeya.
Professor Sewufu is a former Makerere University don who taught a number of senior officials who are now working in various sectors across the globe.
He would handle us very well with his characteristic smile, and you'd find that what we thought was a tough subject, difficult subject, and unattractive, you'd find anatomy more and more appealing. So, Professor, thank you for making anatomy a very attractive subject.
The Premier commended Professor Sewufu for his contribution towards the academia and tasked other people to emulate such people's legacy.
Let me say that my wife and I will give a heifer to Rose and Professor Sewufu for in recognition really of their great work. And I think they shouldn't be running too far to get milk. They should get milk close to their home.
Professor Sewufu served as Minister for Health in Binaisa's government. Together with his wife, they are blessed with 2 sons and 5 daughters. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News at Namirembe Cathedral.
The Commander Peace Support Operations in Singo, Colonel Benny Godfrey Wolibwa, has tipped the reserve force on discipline. This was at Singo Training Center during the final training of the 30th Battle Group.
These are routine trainings which the Reserve Forces undergoes every year after being recalled with the aim of maintaining peace and stability in Somalia under African Union Mission in Somalia, AMSOM. This is the 3rd battle group which was recalled in June last year. The Commander Peace Support Operation in Singo, Colonel Ben Geoffrey Walimbwa says, through AMSOM under GPO, they are joining with some trainers from different countries.
GPO is a global peace initiative operations, and what we have done is under GPO, we have the American Marines, we have the British training team, we have the French, which has already trained their part, and in fact they have gone back until maybe another battle group when it has come, that's when they also come back. And we have the Dutch from Netherlands, they just finished their package of recent.
The trainees have spent 7 months in training.
Abasomesa batuyisiza mu misomo egy'enjawulo
okusookera ddala kintu kirungi nnyo ate kyamaanyi nnyo okusookera ddala okwekuuma.
Tulina okumanya nti obuvunaanyizibwa bwe twabuyingiramu tubwagala. Singa twali tubuyingiddemu nga tetwagala era nga tetuli bavumu, twali badde tetutuuka ku salino lye tuliko.
This group consists of 3,015 reservists, 115 are female and 2,860 are male.
Abantu abo bava mu bifo bya njawulo naye nga ekibinja ekinene ennyo ky'ekibinja eky'aba veteran oba abazirwanako, abalala nga bakuba emmundu za njawulo kati baludde bamaze ebbanga ggwanvu mu byalo byabwe nga bakakkalabya ate emirimu emirala kati bejjukanya emmundu ze baakozesanga nga bakyali mu magye. Tugenda Somalia mu kifo ekiyitibwa Albiska.
Major Betty Atekati Akelo ended service in 2014. He says women play a big part in Somalia.
Kati kyanguwa nnyo omukyala okusobola okugenda n'ayogeraganya ne mutabani oba omwami we n'amuwangula endowooza eyo n'agikyusa ne omutima gwe ogwo gubadde gulowooza okubeereyo ng'alwana asobole okuvaayo akomewo mu gavumenti ye okulaba nti aleeta emirembe.
Commander Bihuje Mumusoke, the group commander, says these soldiers have acquired ample training.
Is that they should always keep themselves safe, keep themselves fit, because there is still an arrangement to bring more to participate in this mission. So let them just keep fit, keep safe.
I'm Namamode Deborah, UBC.
Thank you so much, Namamonde Deborah, and we wish the soldiers all the best. The 70th graduation ceremony at Makerere University is still ongoing, with hundreds still attaining their rewards of excellence. Among these include persons living with disability graduating in various disciplines. Our reporter got in touch with the people with disabilities, graduates, and here he reports.
Jacqueline Namakula, age 24, has just graduated at Makerere University. She's a person living with disability and has attained a degree in business administration. Jacqueline recounts the journey to the day of her graduation.
Right now I'm feeling so happy. I'm very excited because I didn't expect this to happen in my life. But some difficulties, but I managed because of the administration and the people that were around me.
People living with disability are often stigmatized, but some haven't lost the commitment to study. They believe disability is not inability.
Give up because of those disadvantages. I mean those difficulties that come along in that journey when we are studying.
You can't do anything if you don't go to school. Children in my age with different disability which were worse than mine, so I can't give up on school.
Parents believe supporting persons with disability will make them fit in society as well as fight for their rights.
I really feel good that Jackie has conquered. She's been able to overcome her challenges.
To encourage other parents also to educate their children.
Don't just sit there, please educate this.
However, other graduates couldn't hide their excitement upon reaching the success.
President Museveni, thank you for everything you've done for us as Ugandans and students.
Also happy today for this achievement.
I just appreciate a lot the president.
Over 3,500 students have this Thursday graduated in different business faculties. Shaidat Nasaku and Lydia Chomukama reporting for UBC.
Efforts to rescue bodies from the collapsed Ginger building are still ongoing. 3 more bodies were recovered on Thursday evening, making a total number of the death toll rising to 5. Police is being assisted by the UPDF and UPDF to retrieve the bodies from the collapsed building. 8 people are said to have sustained serious injuries, and these were rushed to Ginger Referral Hospital where they are obtaining treatment. According to the Uganda police, the exact number which might have gotten stuck under the rubble is not yet clear, as the site engineer of the building is still on the run.
babikidwa ekizimba kyagenda mu maaso wano era nga ku ssaawa eno tukyakwatagana ne basupervisor ku kizimbe kino batukakase omuwendo gw'abantu gwennyini ogwabaddewo nga akabenje kano kagwawo kisobole okutuyambako okumanya oba betwajjeeyo beebo oba mukyalimu abalala naye nga tukyalina abafudde babiri betwajjeeyo olunaku lw'eggulo abalumiziddwa bali 8 mulimu n'abana abavuddeyo naye nga tebalumiziddwa. Ku ssaawa eno tusaba abantu basigale nga bakkakkamu bakendeezeeko okugeza ennamba y'abantu abalumiziddwa oba abafudde naye nga tetubakakasa nti tugenda kubeerawo wano okunoonya okuyiikula ettaka eryo oba bulooka ezo paka lwe tunaakakasa nti temuliimu muntu yenna asigaddemu.
Sad story there in Jinja. Government has launched a 5 billion project to improve the infrastructure at Chankwanzi Leadership Institute. The first lift project is expected to give the institute a befitting status, according to the Minister for Presidency, Esther Mbayo.
Located on over 10 hectares of land in the Cattle Corridor in Chiboga district, about 200 kilometers from Kampala, is National Leadership Institute Chankwanzi. It was established immediately when the National Resistance Army NRA captured the power in 1986 to train public servants in national leadership and basic military training techniques. The institute is synonymous with retreats for members of parliament, especially in the ruling NRM party, and foreign dignitaries who visit the facility for refresher courses. According to the Minister for Presidency, Esther Mbayo, the institute is not up to standard given the increasing demand for its services.
You know, one time I had to encounter my honorable colleagues and I told them to stop commenting about how they live, how they are treated when they come to Nali. I told them stop because you have the powers to appropriate funds. And in a special way, I want to thank the President.
Asante sana.
I told you that every time I would see him, I normally see him off as he's going for international commitments and receive him. Every time I would see him, I would remind him.
Speaking to UBC, shortly after commissioning the construction works of a 5 billion administration complex and self-contained dormitories, Mbayo said her dream is to see Nali what it deserves.
And the parameters are there to measure a national institute. So if we don't measure to that, then we are not worthy to be called a national institute. And this is just the beginning of the beginning. The 5 billion is very little, let me tell you.
The construction, expected to be complete in 12 working months, is undertaken by the Engineering Brigade of the Uganda People's Defence Forces. It will consist of 4 dormitories with self-contained rooms accommodating 80 people, an administration block complex with a central lecture hall accommodating 300 people, libraries, and parking slot of 80 to 100 vehicles.
We need to improve this infrastructure so that it becomes easy for people to study. If infrastructure is not good, it doesn't mean what you are teaching, it doesn't invalidate what you are teaching, but it makes it that much harder for people to focus on what they are learning if the infrastructure is not up to the standard. So that's why this is a very good step.
The UPDF Engineering Brigade has successfully completed several projects, such as Sports Arena at Makerere University, the ICT Innovation Hub, and the Bulambuli Resettlement Project. Bernard Higa, UBC TV, Chankwanzi.
Ministry of Water and Environment has lauded the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change for choosing Uganda to host the Africa Climate Week. The event, slated for March 2020, seeks to address a range of relevant climate issues under one umbrella. State Minister for Environment Beatrice Atima Nyara says that this will inspire individuals to become part of the momentum created in mitigating effects of climate change.
Trees have been cut for various purposes.
including acting as sources of energy. Wetlands have been encroached upon for various reasons, including farming and sand mining. The effects of such human activities have been felt worldwide, where families have been displaced, people injured, and some have died. Bududa, Kasese and Bundibujo in Uganda are the best examples to this.
Parliament actually, we have first of all created a whole committee on climate change. And that committee of climate change is supposed to help us have funds that we need for mitigation and adaptation of climate change put in place.
70% of what we want to achieve, and this is what we've posited in our NDC, that 70%, if we are to achieve our carbon management plans or even the climate plans that we've put aside, we will need 70% of the support coming from the development partners, and then the 30% coming from our own internal resources.
This is one of the reasons why the upcoming Africa Climate Change Week is described as timely.
What opportunities do we expect? Hosting the Africa Climate Week is a unique opportunity to bring governments, private sector, and other non-party stakeholders to Uganda to discuss the latest developments regarding climate change, negotiations, and related key themes.
The week will be made possible with partnership of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Individuals are expected to be inspired to become part of the momentum created by the Regional Global Climate Change Agreement in Paris.
The World Health Organization has indicated that the primary driver of new driver of health impacts is climate change. Climate change disproportionately affects women, and again the gender equality goals of the SDGs will not be possible to be achieved. As I said, while climate change is one of the SDGs, so is partnerships.
The 2020 Africa Climate Change Week will be held from 9th to 13th March 2020. It will run under the theme, Building Partnership for Climate Resilient Low Emission Development. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Thank you so much, Henry Okurut, and your story takes us for a break. On return, we'll have business news tonight, international and sports. Please keep around.
Hi, I'm DJ Drogba. On average, almost 250,000 people die on the road in Africa each year. As a proud African, this breaks my heart knowing that so many deaths could have been avoided. So when you're on the roads, follow these safe steps and help save lives. Make sure you stick to speed limits. They're there to protect you and others. Slow down at high-risk areas like junctions, sharp turns, and before traffic lights. And watch out for pedestrians, cyclists, and animals. To avoid collisions, keep a safe distance. And remember the 3-second rule. Pick out an object and count to 3. If you've passed the object before the count of 3, you're far too close. So when you're on the road, follow these safe steps and help save lives. We all have a role to play in road safety. Together, let's make Africa's road safer.
Eastern and Southern Africa Capacity Building Center, in partnership with Nakawa Vocational Training Institute, brings you the Do-It-Yourself Chekolere, a skills training program to equip participants with basic hands-on technical skills for doing simple tasks in their daily life by themselves. The skills to be taught include repairing simple home wooden furniture, painting your own home and minor house repairs, replacing broken tiles and pavers, replacing broken window glass, fixing a blocked or broken kitchen sink or toilet, TVs, mobile phones and computers, changing a car tire, and basic car servicing, welding, and others. This training will take place at Nakawa Vocational Training Institute from 20th January to 13th March 2020, 8 to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. For more details, call 0706 694801 or 0701 2311 99. Do it yourself, chekolere.
A warm welcome to Business News tonight. Total Uganda Limited and Stanbic Bank have entered a partnership for customers with prepaid Total fuel cards top-up more conveniently with Stanbic agents across the country. Wadru Makanold has this.
Total Uganda has entered an understanding with Stanbic Bank to enable customers top up their business-to-customer cards at Stanbic Bank agents.
We are looking at the objective of convenience, number one, making sure that customers don't need to go too far away to be able to find an opportunity to load their Total cards. Two, safety, where we don't want people to carry cash because there's a safety and security risk when people carry too much cash, both for our customers and also for our stations.
On cybersecurity, Stanbic Bank's digital footprint in the country is one of the factors that qualify it for the initiative.
So you will see that a lot of these POS systems that we're using, they're all fully secure. They have a patch of cybersecurity protection on them. In addition, there's some other things that we're doing behind the scenes where we monitor these transactions. So we've got people looking and understanding, okay, that doesn't make sense. How come there's a POS system in Bunamwaya, which is now all of a sudden selling 2 million liters of fuel? So we have other ways of tracking to make sure that everything remains within certain limits.
The business-to-customer card has a 3-year validation designed to allow a range of customers utilize Total services from fuel to shop.
If you have a smartphone, we want to make it possible so that you can load through your smartphone. Okay, if you don't have a smartphone, you can go to agents, banking, to an agent. If you can use your mobile money.
The fourth industrial revolution in Uganda is starting to shape small and large-scale businesses to partner through digital innovations. Reporting for UBC News, Wadulo Makano.
And now the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets is undertaking a contract audit on the procurement of gowns by Makerere University. The PPDA Acting Executive Director Uthman Segawa says that the university should have followed the 15th February 2018 BUBU arrangement, that is Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, that provides for exclusive reservations of the contracts for nationals.
This particular contract was undertaken in financial year 15-16. We are in financial year 19-20. It was a procurement that we are yet to get the details after reviewing the file, but it was not undertaken this financial year. We are meant to understand that it is a framework. Our contract audit will get to the details as to whether there were any breaches of our law. We got to know this from the press coverage, and we requested Makerere to get us this information, and there are a number of sanctions that PPDA can do in this procurement. Where we find out that the provider, for example, has not complied to the contractual obligations, there is suspension of a provider.
Leaders of business and industry from across the world are interested in promoting cross-border trade and investment in the Great Lakes region. To achieve this, more private players are needed to achieve this direction towards economic development.
The Great Lakes Private Sector Forum was directed by heads of state of the Great Lakes region during a summit held in Luanda, Angola in 2014. The forum was geared at promoting bilateral ties among its Great Lakes region.
We strongly believe that this forum is going to play a fundamental role in promoting substantial dialogue between public and private sector through high-level interactive sessions geared towards easing business in the region. We therefore, Madam Manango, confirm our commitment as a private sector to our respective governments and UN Special Affairs Office to navigate key challenges and constraints that hinder promotion of cross-border trade investment.
Rosa Malango, the UN resident coordinator, says regional integration requires cross-border trade, safe movement and investment. It's therefore important for the private sector to support and participate in such forums.
Let the Great Lakes be known for prosperity, for trade, for innovation, and for rich history. Let it no longer make headlines because of disasters and because of conflict.
The forum did also focus on cross-border trade and investment corridors with private sector actors in the regions, basing on economic opportunities which promote the development of business and agriculture and logistics value chains, among others.
That is one of Uganda's engineers are borrowing over even American names. They always be better to borrow. East African people are entitled to cheap milk and cheap eggs.
So the challenge for integration in the Great Lakes region, and certainly for East Africa, is the challenge of protectionism and sovereignty. National sovereignty. We agree on something in Arusha. People come back in their capitals and they are sovereign and can do anything. So we need that spirit to come back of integration.
One is to promote the region's business climate and outline investment opportunities, and also demystify risk perceptions and misconceptions about the region, because it is no longer a war zone.
The launch of the Great Lakes Private Sector Forum was under the theme Transforming Trade and Investment in Great Lakes Regions. Sandra Kahunde reporting for UBC Business.
Experts in work ethics and productivity have underscored the need to fight absenteeism at places of work to improve performance. The Commissioner for Labour in the Ministry of Gender, Alex Asimwe, describes promotion of work culture and ethics as an enhancement for productivity. This was during Work Culture and Ethics Symposium, where Japanese Ambassador to Uganda, Kazuaki Kameda, underscored the need to introduce work ethics at childhood level.
On a busy morning, working together defines the moment at the recently launched phone factory here at Namamve Industrial Park on the outskirts of Kampala.
At this moment, we are working on the small phones, and next year we shall assemble smartphones plus laptops.
The togetherness exhibited at this factory is a depiction of one of the main drivers for productivity. Teamwork is just one of those work ethics that experts are advocating for as a catalyst for socio-economic transformation.
Work culture and ethics is a foundation for productivity enhancement. So you cannot talk about productivity enhancement without work culture and ethics.
The imperative to develop strong work cultures that uphold passion, integrity, excellence, respect, empowerment, inclusion, and a commitment to learning applies to all organizations.
Allowing time for a breather is in line with the old adage that work without play makes Jack a dull boy. This, however, should not be at the expense of productivity, especially in a society where most workers prefer public holidays on working days.
You don't need like a weekday for you to do your work. Those people, I can tell you, they know how to schedule their work, to plan their work, and they would, with that kind of attitude, it wouldn't even matter on which day your public holiday is.
All this was made known during the Work Culture and Ethics Symposium held in Kampala. Japanese Ambassador to Uganda agreed with the rest of the discussants on the promotion of work ethics at all levels.
Really, I believe that children look at parents, what they are doing, not what they are seeing, or what they are saying. So, what Joy says that integrity, that parents has to show what they're saying and doing what they say.
Work culture and ethics is about doing what is right, even when no one is watching. You set the bar by yourself because it starts with you, the individual.
The symposium was held under the theme, Work Culture and Ethics, the Business and Social Case. It is part of preparations to celebrate Work Culture and Ethics Day, slated for July 2020. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Beyond Ugandan borders, President Filipe Jacinto Nyusi has been sworn in for the second term in office at the Independence Square in Maputo. 10 heads of states attended the inauguration, while Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni was represented by Vice President Edward Chwanuka Sekandi. In his inaugural speech, President Jacinto Nyusi said that the past 5 years have challenged Mozambique, like the drought in the south and the floods in the north, as well as cyclones Idai and Kenneth. President Nyusi stressed that peace is priority for Mozambique.
President Filipe Jacinto Nyusi has been sworn in today and inaugurated for his second term in office, and he is also the fourth president of the Republic of Mozambique. The president received the instruments of power, namely the Constitution of Mozambique, coat of arms, the presidential standard, the Mozambique seal, and the Mozambique national flag during a function that took place at the Independence Square in Maputo.
Maputo, aos 15 de janeiro de 2020.
In his inaugural speech, President Filipe Jacinto Nyusi said that the past 5 years have greatly challenged Mozambique, like the drought in the south and the floods in the north, as well as the severity of the cyclones Idai and Kenneth, in which lives and property were lost and destroyed respectively. President Nyusi stressed that peace has been and will continue to be the absolute priority for Mozambique, adding that the sovereignty of his country will not be negotiated or mortgaged. On democratic process in Mozambique, the president said participation of the citizens in the process of governance cannot be achieved unless all Mozambicans enjoy equal opportunities of access to basic services, justice, and national resources. He added that there is a need for free debate that respects opinions and freedoms of each Mozambican men and women collectively. On education, President Nyusi said it's an important sector for development, and more attention will be dedicated to the expansion and improvement of education services by seriously focusing on education production, training of competent teachers at all levels, and mobilizing resources to improve the working conditions of teachers and provide equipment for education infrastructure. On health, he said that there was a need to fast-track the presidential initiative that intends to implement a government program of one district, one hospital, with a view to extending quality and specialized healthcare network alongside human resources training. On question of jobs for the youth, the president said that under the presidency, an office will be dedicated to deal with youth issues and employment. The president called for the need to combat corruption in all forms, as well as demand for integrity, ethics, and professionalism to public officials and agents to consolidate the culture of transparency and accountability. 10 heads of state have been in attendance, while Uganda was represented at the swearing-in ceremony by Vice President Edward Chwanuka Sekandi. Etole Ed Archangel and Kasaga Stephen reporting from Maputo, Mozambique.
Thank you so much, Etole Edi Archangel. Sir David Attenborough has warned that a moment of crisis has come in efforts to tackle climate change. According to the renowned naturalist and broadcaster, we have been putting things off for year after year. That is him saying, and he adds that as I speak, Southeast Australia is on fire. Why? Because the temperatures of the earth are increasing. Sir David's comments came in a BBC News interview to launch a year of special coverage on the subject of climate change. Scientists say that climate change is one of several factors behind the Australian fires. Others include how forests are managed and natural patterns in the weather. David says that palpable nonsense for some politicians and commentators to suggest that the Australian fires were nothing to do with the world becoming warmer. He says that we know perfectly well that human activity is behind the heating of the planet. Moving on to the world of sport, Mubiru Rashid has been appointed to handle the under-21 national netball team, while Martha Soigi has also been handed responsibility to deputize. A list of 20 players have officially been summoned to prepare for the under-21 African Netball World Cup qualifiers. Nagai Lilian, Babidi Reste, Narwanga Shafwa, Namulumba Christian and Nyadoi Mili are part of the 20 that have already started training at Lugogo. The selection was made from the best 4 netball schools, them being St. Mary's Chitende, Standard High Zana, King's College Budo and Masaka ISS. Uganda was selected to host the tournament that starts from the 4th of May at the MTN Arena in Lugogo. 12 countries will be in Uganda from the 4th to the 10th of May, competing to have 3 countries qualify from Africa.
We have a team that will compete for World Cup. So the girls who are here, the task ahead of you is very big. You are now going to become the leaders of this country in terms of netball playing when that time comes. And therefore anything that goes wrong, we shall not blame anybody. It is you to blame. So when you are here for training, make sure that the training you take is as part of you. That you are having a flag, good enough, even the attire you are putting on is Ugandan flag. You are having a flag of more than 40 million that you are carrying to represent them, to show and deliver. And therefore, your presence and your commitment is very vital.
We wish the girls the best. Uganda Christian University Canon secured an overtime 54-52 victory over City Oilers to prolong the 2019 National Basketball League title chase to game 6 in this best-of-7 series. City Oilers came into this game leading the series 3-1 and needed victory to secure the title. The game played at the MTN Arena in Lugogo kept fans on tenterhooks all through, with the teams inseparable at 42-all after the mandatory 4 quarters. This called for overtime, during which Uganda Christian University played hard and kept their mentality to secure a hard-fought 54-52 victory. This victory means that the Uganda Christian University reduced the deficit and thus trailed by 3 games to 2, with game 6 lined up for Friday. Uganda Christian University now had its top performers Fayed Bale, Titus Lual, David Deng and Fadil Chuma inspiring from against a team that's looking for consecutive title number 7. The cricket bilateral series between Uganda and Tanzania have witnessed the penultimate day with action at Chambogo University Cricket Oval. The series involved 3 teams, with hosts Uganda fielding 2 teams in the final round robin action. Uganda's under-19 girls team edged Tanzania by 10 wickets. Tanzania won the toss and chose to bat, but was restricted 41 runs, which the Uganda under-19 team chased with 10 wickets to spare. Achand Rachel was the man of the match after securing 2 wickets at the loss of 4 runs in just 4 overs. The Tanzanians saved face in the afternoon game after triumphing by 8 wickets over Uganda Select, and in the process booked a final date against Uganda under-19 on Friday.
19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday. 19 on Friday.
If there were fixtures that football enthusiasts would always look out for, then the game between Vipers and Sports Club Villa was one of them. The two teams face off this Friday, that is tomorrow, as the Uganda Premier League action returns.
Lots of surprises are expected in the second round of the Uganda Premier League. On Tuesday, KCCA FC was humbled by Bright Stars at Kavumba. Express FC walloped 6 goals by Police FC at the StarTimes Stadium in Lugogo, while Bull FC, who had started well in the first round, lost their first game of the second round. Vipers Sports Club, who are strong favourites to win the 2019-2020 Premier League season, returned to action against rivals Sports Club Villa at the St. Mary's Stadium in Kitende.
Every match is different. We have won 2 games in a row. We are going to play Villa, which has 2 losses. But I know every game has its way. We are going to handle them very well. I know guys, they will put a good spirit so that we can win. I know we are going to miss our captain, Khalid. But as you know, this is a team. We have to go and then we fight for a win. Yeah, it's heavy to be a captain, because if you're a captain, you don't want to lose. Yeah, it's really hurting when you lose, when you're a captain.
The Venoms are 42 points from 17 games, 7 ahead of rivals KCCA FC. The last time Villa visited Kitende, they won the game 3-1 to end the Vipers' then unbeaten run, and indeed, these memories are still fresh in the minds of the Vipers as they clash out. The other 2 games on the day will see on-form Police FC play Chetume, while wounded KCCA FC face disgruntled Toro United. Meanwhile, the national under-20 women football team had its final training session before departing for Dar es Salaam, Tanzania this Friday. Uganda faces Tanzania in the FIFA Under-20 Women World Cup qualifiers this Saturday the 18th. While in camp, focus has been on fitness levels of players who had taken a while before training as a unit. As the under-20 team went on with their training, the under-17 women team equally returned to camp. Uganda boasts as giants in women football in the region, with triumph in both Sekafa and Kosafa tournaments. After the game in Tanzania, the 2 teams will later face off in the return leg at the Philip Omondi Stadium, Lugogo. Reporting for UBC, Shivan Auma.
Thank you so much, Shivan Auma, with that story. We come to the end of news tonight. Let us have a glimpse on what the weather will be like tomorrow with our colleague here, Majezi.
Hello there, welcome to today's weather broadcast brought to you by Uganda National Meteorological Authority in conjunction with UBC. I'm Majezi Africano, your presenter. There has been a reduction in rain in the country. And by today, 9 o'clock, we had reports of rain from Gulu of 15.8 millimeters of rain, Wadilai 6.4, and Kitugum 1.4 millimeters of rain. When we take a look at the satellite picture taken of Africa, it shows that the rain belt has shifted far south of our country. And in the northern sector, we have the high pressure that is pushing dry winds together with the dust that is experienced in the northern sector of our country. Tomorrow in the morning, we expect a chance of rains around Lake Victoria, but in the southern sector, we expect sunny conditions. And in the afternoon, in the northern sector, we expect sunny conditions. In the afternoon, we expect a chance of rain around Lake Victoria together with the western sector, but in the central and northern sector, we expect cloudy conditions. Temperatures are expected to rise as high as 32 degrees in the northern sector. Around our city center, Kampala, we expect 28 degrees Celsius, and in the hills of Kigezi, we expect 25 degrees Celsius. Elsewhere on the globe, we expect in Mombasa, together with Paris and London, a chance of rain. New York is expected to have some sunny condition, and in Dubai we expect to have cloudy conditions. Thank you for being with us. Stay together with us. Stay tuned.
Majezi Africano, thank you so much for that update. We now know how to go where tomorrow. Let's now look at the headlines once again and say bye-bye. Ministry of Education and Sports has declared a funding gap of 1.6 trillion. Reserve forces have been tipped on discipline. Sir David Attenborough has warned of climate crisis moment, while Rashid Mbiru has been appointed to handle the under-21 national netball team. We thank you so much for watching UBC TV, but in a special way, of course, as Newsroom News. Thank you so much for watching. In general, we wish you the best of the night. My name is Michael Jordan Mkomwa with Muhammad Mugalu and the whole team here. Wish you the best of the night. Please, bye-bye.
Family of the late Mzee Besweri Opio of Atutur, Kumi District, announces the death of their beloved daughter Dorothy Opio that occurred on the 15th of January 2020. She served as a travel consultant in Travelport, Let's Go Travel, Uganda Travel Bureau, BCD Travel and Orbital Tours. There will be a burial ceremony in Atutur Sub-County, Kumi District on Saturday 18th January 2020 at 2 p.m. Informed are relatives, friends, in-laws and the district leaders. May her soul rest in eternal peace.